Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, Twitch chat. Welcome back to Let Us Play. I'm your host, Father Evan. It's good to be back with y'all today. We're going to be diving back into some more Minecraft, continuing to work on the Opera House. So let's not delay any. Let's get. Oh wait, no, I gotta say, forgot. It's right there in front of me. Bright-haired Lord, congratulations on your crown of Fursendom. Lo, heavy is the brow that wears the crown, but for this day you have worn it. Congratulations. All right. Now let's get into Minecraft. So I did see what time it is. Okay, it's night. I did do some work off camera. Not a lot, but some. I got some quartz. And I know I had talked about what's the difference between a Metropolitan Opera House and a Metropolitan Opera Bishop? The house is where the bishop lives. I know I talked about using creative to bring in some quartz, but I decided, nope. That defeats the spirit of it. But I did complete this side. I got enough dirt. I even did a little terraforming over there. But what I was thinking of doing today was actually focusing on the grand staircase and redeveloping it and making it larger, etc. So I think that's what we'll start with. So let's go get some materials. Yo, Bad Roxy in the house. What up, Bad Roxy? Oh, I also made a lot more carpet. It's gonna be relevant here in a moment. Let's grab some bone. Any more wax? I do. Okay, that's good. Let's start by making a bunch of stairs, shall we? That's not a bunch of stairs. That's good enough for now. So one of the initial things I want to look at is lengthening this, because if we want this to be a wall, we're going to want this to be like an actual platform area. So maybe, what if we did the stairs too wide and then we had an area of 2 up here? That would work. Not where I wanted that. So this will be the bone pillar in the center. Bringing this out is a little weird for some reason for me. I don't know why. My brain's just like, no, I don't know what you're doing. Nope, that's quartz. That's not bone. That's the bone block noise. Yeah, I guess the block... You got missionaries. Hey, Hope. No! I just want to place it the correct way. You fight anything yet? No, but we could. We could go fighting a zombie or something. I guess I've been fighting my brain's inability to properly comprehend what's going on. You know, I think I want to add one more turn to this. Make it look extra fancy. And that will actually give us more room in the middle for where the, where we can make the pool. Am I gonna see the Minecraft movie? Do I have to? Like, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm thinking no. Like, I don't think I could even watch it ironically. And then we had another waxed block area, and then we had bone. What if we get 10 subs and the reward is you have to sit through the movie and give us your honest thoughts? I think it's going to take more than 10. You thought the movie was a joke at first? I mean, I don't hate the idea. Like, yeah, it's a tie-in movie. It's, you know, whatever. It's a cash grab. Those things exist. And I can largely ignore them, but I don't know, just the design choices and just there's a lot going on. Like, they knowingly named the bad guy zombie pig leader as Lord Chungus. They knew. It might be good, like it could be good like the Lego movie. But I'm not holding my breath. I don't know, maybe when it comes to streaming I'll watch it, but You thought that the Lego movie was going to be horrible until you sat through it? That is entirely valid. Maybe it's because I am such a Lego nerd. I went into the Lego movie with pretty high expectations, and also the fact that it was getting good reviews. So I'm thinking of coming back in later and like turning this kind of space here into half slabs. So while we're down here for the night, we can make some half slabs. Oh, I also made curtains. I started making the curtain for the stage. Hey, let's make half slabs over down there. Doesn't make half slabs. Of course, I think there's... Bleh. Can't talk today. Also, I don't think there's going to be room for a fountain here after all, because that would mean, like, either it's going to have a very small pool, which I don't think looks as good. Or have to rearrange somehow to get the stairs further back, but again... can't do it all. That is the entirely wrong direction. Oh, I have the perfect amount of honeycombs for right here. Yeah, so that's kind of the basic idea of the grand staircase. So we can fancy it up a little. Might look good. Maybe if we did, like... something like that. Maybe, maybe not. Happy Wednesday, everyone. Happy Wednesday indeed. Good to see you, Kit. Yeah, I like that. That frames it in the regular quartz. It's Wednesday, my dudes. It is indeed Wednesday, my dudes. So go with me on this journey. We need railings. Big front coming through. Ooh. That would, in fact, make it Wednesday. Okay, make a bunch of quartz. Half slabs. What was the other thing we were here for? The railings. Right. So where's the iron? Iron bars. You keep waving to the empty trash cans traveling down the street. They're on an adventure. Okay. I do think I'm gonna need to extend this railing all the way to here. I know there's a stair right there, but maybe I could rearrange the stair to go this way so that it naturally leads up. Yeah, I don't hate that. Now, one of the tricky questions is, how do we make railings going down the stairs? That's not something Minecraft's always been the best at doing. Do I need to? Or, oh, what happened there? Or can we leave them open? I do want to close this gap for sure. That could be as simple as that. The other thing I wanted to do was add a half slab. Entertainment news. Thousands fall from unsafe grand staircase at the Opera House. Well, you know, they signed the waiver. And then back here doesn't matter as much, I feel. So I can wall it off or something. Actually, let's do this with half slabs. Because we'll have a wall here that'll fully close off. Let's put some torches on it just for now. Just to keep it a little mob proof. Maybe it does need a water feature. Oh, I think I just thought of a way to make the water feature prevalent and useful. Well, not necessarily useful, but... So what I'm thinking is, what if the water came out of where this block is, and then fell down, but instead of just being like a little pool here, it could also extend out and around. To kind of add to the nature of being beckoned into the space of the staircase. Hey, Churro! How you doing? Good to see you, buddy. You're doing good. Oh, I'm glad to hear that. How's little baby Churro? The mines are good. We're working on our opera house here. We have the seating area is mostly built. And the stage. But now we're working kind of in the lobby area. And then I'll do this, the outside after. I like this, though. Because then, like, we could put some flower sprays here. Like, underneath the stairs. What do you think, chat? Not so little anymore. She turns 3 in 2 weeks. Oh my goodness. So I need to figure out how I want to line this. Honestly, maybe quartz slabs would look pretty good. Just differentiate it a little bit. Oh, this will work out perfectly, actually, I think. Let me test this before we get any further. What's this area going to be? This is the lobby, like the grand staircase of the lobby. Oh, that'll be perfect. Look at that. Is a cry room in the plans, or is it a free-for-all mass? Well, this is an opera house, so I don't think there's any plans for a mass to be celebrated here. There's no cry room in the basilica, but you know, I believe in the saying, if the church ain't crying, it's dying. Always impressed by people who do huge Minecraft builds. You don't have the patience. Hey, that's all good. We all have different gifts. And right now, my gift is not placing blocks. So late last night, earlier this morning, my boss shared an email with the whole community, sort of highlighting what I've been doing here. I was very honored that he did that. Oh, what? Why is that flowing out that way? That should not be flowing out that way. But it is funny because I tried to tell my brothers, like, what I'm up to and what I've been building, and they're like, well, how long did that take? And I look at this and I estimate, I don't know, like 40 hours-ish? I forget. Okay, let's see if... Hello? I'm now worried there's just like a thing of water underneath here. No, that one water block just disapparated. That's cool. Well, let's see if pre-filling these helps. Because otherwise I'm going to have to go back to the drawing board for a moment. Which wouldn't be the worst, because I think what I'd have to do essentially is change out what the ceiling tile is just down there. Okay, that worked like I wanted it to. Yeah. I can dig that. If I put a rail in front, yeah, that should work actually. What I'll probably want to do then is curve the stairs up. No. No, get back. Get back here, little diorites. Quartz breaks too easily. Makes it hard to actually work with. Looking forward to any upcoming game releases. That is a good question. I don't even know what's coming out lately. I feel like there has to be something, but... Oh, I do not like that. I do not like how that looks. We'll just put these back as normal. Upcoming game releases. Yeah, I genuinely can't think of anything that's even coming out. I am missing One Piece because I don't have one. I need to make more. What about you, Churro? Is there anything on your radar that you're like excited about? You couldn't think of anything either? There we go. And we'll want this much because we're going to be... we've got more railings and more staircases to build. I like that there, but I'm not going to put one here because I like the sort of open pool design. Oh, there's been good news on Pope Francis's health. Most recent report, I think, was a couple days ago now, but his doctor said he is no longer in imminent danger. Which, if I were sick, I would not want to be in imminent danger, so I think that's a good thing. Nope, that flows the wrong way. I was hoping it would flow left and right. Minecraft water physics are weird. Empty out these buckets. My tool stack back the way it is. And then this gives some spacing for where we can put the stairs, or the carpet that will go over towards these stairs in the sides. Keep it one shy of the water. I know this doesn't go all the way, but this is just to visualize it right now. Okay. I like what I'm seeing. I like this. You know what might look good is if this actually had some form of a support in the form of like a bone block, because then it could fit in with the grander. Which do you prefer, chat? Left or right? With the pillar or without? Thinking without now. It's like, I guess one way I could do the railing, you can do like a floating railing. But I don't want it to appear too cage-like. Without craft it. ATC. Yeah, see, and now we're getting to the trouble of like, you know, I prefer without. Craft it, mine it, bop it, twist it. I think that's gonna be it on the stairs for now. It may come back once we have more stuff here, but I think for now this is good. And again, like this will be, I'm thinking this whole section is going to be walled off. So probably from here to its equal and opposite side. Looked uneven for a moment. It was wigging me out. It's wigging me out, man. You have to build up more channel points for me, Mass. You'll get there. I believe in you. What am I looking for? I'm looking for this. So I just want to make some more stairs for now. Okay, so if we're making... Well, these stairs are going to be a different height. Because they're going up to the second level. Because this is going to be a balcony that leads into a hallway here that leads to the boxes. Is that what I want? No, probably too wide. What are we building? We are building an opera house. So this area here is the lobby. This is the grand staircase. So we can come up here. We'll have a wall separating here. But then orchestra seating. We have the stage. Am I an opera fan? I enjoy a good opera. And I live right next door to a good opera, so that helps. Yeah, so we'll have staircase starting here and spiraling its way up, I guess, because it's in... Why did I make this a 5x5? Should have made this a 4x4. I can close it off, like that's not... It's not impossible. But I am basically out of diorite slabs. He says as he is 47. Because now with this as a excuse me. Let me in. With this as a 4x4, we can do a spiral staircase that's easily too wide because you do like a step and a step. Up. Then we can do a platform, and then we can do step, step. So let's actually change this to quartz slabs for up here. Because that diorite slab was just a placeholder. Right? No, brain, that won't work. Maybe I should have it 5x5. And just fill in the space. Because if we did that, what if we did stair? Stair. Ah. 2x2 spiral staircases are complicated and weird in Minecraft, in my opinion. They're probably a lot easier than I think they are, but still. So I think we can go up one more. And then we have our platform, which is where we pivot. Well, it may be an uneven spiral staircase, but I think this is how you do it. Okay, this will work. This will work, because then we can... Ow. Basically, what we needed was a starting point. Because then you get up here. So that was really my main problem, is I was trying to start... I should have started 2 steps in. Which I guess I still could, but I don't know. I don't mind the long stair lead up. I think it gives it more character. And then we're also going to need stairs. How tall is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? We'll need stairs approximately here-ish. To get up to the 2nd floor, and then we'll have another to get up to the 3rd floor. Yeah, this works. And then since it's 5, this actually gives us this center here that we could fill with something to be all decorative with. So in the meantime, what we're going to do is we're going to drop off a whole bunch of stuff. Where's all the sand? I know I brought sand. Gonna start making this sand into glass, because we'll need that for the panes. So we're gonna have a decent amount of those. Actually, I can take... Where'd that red carpet go? There it is. We could fill some of that up. And, don't think... Yeah, can't place flowers directly onto that, but we do have... We could have all three of these removed. So we could put... Honestly, I think it would be great to just be plain dirt rather than grass. So what kind of flowers do we want to put in there? I think a lilac on each side would be good. Got orange tulips. I think the only other double tall flower is roses, but we already have those on the exterior, so I don't know if I'd want more on the inside. Oxeye daisies could be nice. That would fit in with the sort of pale white theme. So if we did Oxeye daisy on one side, of each of the lilacs. So it'd be oxeye, lilac, oxeye. Let's not jump off a cliff. There we go. Nice little flower gardens. Flower beds, I guess. And now it's getting dark. Okay, after we place this carpet, we'll need to go and get more wax. So we're going to need more copper. Or rather, we have the copper. Copper is abundant. We just don't want it to verdigris in the indoor areas. The roof, the dome we're going to make, that will verdigris. Probably carpet the stairs, or the landings at least. That's not symmetrical. That's symmetrical. All right. It's pretty cool to actually see the lobby being more than just a little template. Like to see the stairs more replete in their design. Okay, so we're gonna need a campfire, shears, and a silk touch utensil. There's a couple beehives this way too. Now, just because there's a beehive doesn't mean there's going to be anything in it. It's so sad that hive collapse is even happening in Minecraft. I thought I had seen one over here amidst the flowers, but apparently not. Oh, there it is. Don't mind me, I'm just a little rain cloud. Bees? Any bees? should really properly set up an apiary, I guess, but meh. I've got so many hives just hanging around. He says as he wanders through an open, arid area without any trees. I think there's more on the way back to the original base. So let's go check there. I love the vines on the mausoleum. Make it look just like a little overgrown with ivy. Oh, that one's empty. Don't know how to even get at that one if I wanted to. It's a shame I have no tools to dig with. Huh. Could have sworn there were more. Maybe I should set up an apiary. If you're digging, it's hornets, not bees. That's true, and that's a problem. They're all in the same class. Maybe it's no, it's order even. They're all in the same order. Bees, wasps, and ants. Bees are classier, have more order. You'd be surprised. Wasps can build some surprisingly large and intricate nests. Some wasps also live solitary lives. monk wasps. Well, more often they're forms of hunters and parasitic, actually. They'll infect a host with an egg. Huh. Do I have more? I have more white concrete. I want to work on a window for now, I think. Like, kind of plan out what that might look like. Okay, so the white concrete's our main building block. So the front door will be here-ish. So maybe it'll be 2 sets of 2. So 1. So like a set of 2, 1, and a set of 2, because then it balances nicely with the carpet. So if that's the case, maybe we'll want our first window in maybe at about 2-ish. And I don't want the windows to be ground level. Do I want them to be eye level or higher? I feel like eye level is good. This is where pillars and bone might come in handy. Eye level. Well, yeah, I'd be definitely up. One more up. Then I want to have something like that. This is where I think the bone blocks can come in. Because the bone blocks do have a very slight sort of striping to them. Guess I need something on top too. Maybe that's where a regular quartz can come in. I'd love to do upside down stairs, but the problem is that would leave a physical gap. How does that look? So I'm thinking maybe that is the template. I actually like the use of the white concrete there with the bone. You're framing it on like that. That worked out way better than I had anticipated. But yeah, that'll be like the main design throughout. I may... The ones in the main lobby may be taller, just because of the space. So what I might do is in the main lobby, do like a really tall one and then a secondary standard height one on the top. Because when you consider it, the lobby is probably going to come to about this tall. Like, it's going to have a fairly high up ceiling. Because it's going to be largely based on whatever the highest ceiling is of the family circle. which doesn't have to be much because it's the family circle. It's allowed to feel cramped. But yeah, I like that. I like it's the base design. Again, I do think it needs to be taller for the front and side windows of the actual main opera house, but or of the lobby. But I think that's coming together. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. So we have our template for that now, which is good. Love a good template. We got that done. We have a template for this done. Need to figure out what we want in the center pillar. That might be a good place for bronze or copper or whatever. Would people upstairs be able to look down? A little bit. So this will lead to a balcony on each side where people can look down and in. But I'm thinking once you get here, we'll have stairs here and on the other side where you can go down. But these, there's just kind of be a set of staircase to a small balcony for you to get in, and again another small balcony. So not a promenade like this one, but this is for the orchestra seating section. So we'll probably do something with the wall there. And one thing I want to try out is I have a couple different thoughts of decorating, because I don't want the whole lobby to just be entirely plain, and the hallways especially. We want the hallways to have things. So that's where I think banners like this can come in, because then I can put that in a Fuller's station, and I can transform it into something else. This is where I want this. And in doing that, like we could put different patterns on. What does it take to make a Fuller's thing? What do they call this? They call this a loom. I think it's really more of a... really is more of like a Fuller's bench or something. So we can do that. Take that off the wall. Because then we can take... you can put the banner in here. Oh, I need a dye color. Do I have a readily available dye color? I have some lilacs. I can make a lilac into. So what I was thinking is we could do something like this, and you can give it a gradient or a symbol. And I was thinking we could use some of these, just to frame things, but also, you know, be imaginative and be like, oh, this is a poster for something. Yeah. Can you run this through multiple times? Yeah, you can. So you can make all sorts of shapes so long as you know. So we could say that's like the poster for Madame Butterfly or something, you know. So we could do some decorative stuff like that. And then somewhere in here, I made one art. Or did I stick my singular art? No, I made it. I can make it again if I need to. It's not hard. We'll need to make more anyway, but... there it is. Painting. I'll take one art, please. Yeah, so you can do all sorts of things. You can just kind of roll it until you get what you want. And they can get pretty big. I think the largest is a 5x5. So, like, we can we can fit different things. I think that'll look good in some of the hallways. You know, kind of be like, oh, it's a poster of past production or something. You know, and you can get them small. And you can manipulate what you get too, just with like size. Because right now I'm getting a 2x2, but here I can be guaranteed to get a 2x1, just because of the spacing. And if you keep going, you get the Wanderer. I've seen that painting in person quite recently, actually. But yeah, so that's kind of the thought of like decorating the inside. Inside, I wish I could do like fine detailed etchings, because I'd love to like make pillars and wall pieces in the main opera house. But what we might do is similar to how we made the windows. Theater you attend uses the upstairs gallery as an art gallery. Oh, that's cool. Similar actually to how we designed this space, ignoring the window, but like, you know, using the bone, using the striped quartz, the regular quartz. We might make some squares, because there's, I know there's a term for them, but in art, like in decoration on walls, you'll see kind of this, it'll have kind of curved inward corners, and it's just like this rectangular space on a wall. If you saw it, you'd know exactly what I'm talking about. So that's that. Before we continue, I need to take a quick little bio break, so we will be right back. So go get a drink of water, rotate your fluids, and don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Well, hello. Hi, Junie. Thank you for the raid. Come on in, raiders. I'm sorry, I had to take a quick break. I'm back. Sneak attack raid. Good to see y'all. Thank you for the raid, Junie. Good to see you. Hope you had a good stream. You join us as we are working in Minecraft today. should probably introduce myself. Hi, I'm Father Evan. I'm a Catholic priest. I stream here on Twitch 4 days a week. One day I do Minecraft. Right now we are working on an opera house. Busted Halo? Yeah. I work at Busted Halo. We made this. I like this. Now we're making this. I like this. Sir Spartan 96, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the channel. That build is so good. Oh, thank you very much. I am quite proud of them. Ultimas 6851. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the channel. We need wood. We need wood. Also, I saw we have a Rotda in chat there. Rotda stands for Readings of the Day. So today's readings are all about Nineveh. It's really cool when I love seasons like Lent and whatnot when the first reading and the gospel really line up. And this one is Jonah going to Nineveh and preaching and giving up. And Nineveh still converts anyway. And then the gospel, Jesus is like, the sign of Jonah will be given. And I was thinking and reflecting on that. And of course it is, you know, it's scripture. There's so many ways we could take it. But it kind of made me realize, you know, the sign of Jonah was sign of Nineveh was a good one in the end. It's because the people listened. And Jonah gave up. Like, he didn't even go all the way through the city, and yet the people still were able to listen and be converted. And so it was for Christ in many ways, you know. I mean, he only had so much time and so much space, but there were a lot of people, you know, even just speaking to the Israelites and the Jewish diaspora. Like, he never went to Rome where there was a large Jewish diaspora, and yet his word continues to be spread throughout the world. Gale has redeemed a father joke. Buckle up, everyone. This is another thing that happens around here. I make bad jokes. I don't make dad jokes. I make father jokes. Hey, Gale, did you hear about the ghost that went to the drugstore? He had to buy a box of bandages because he had lots of boo-boos. You get it? Boo-boos. I can hear that in Junie's laugh. Where are you? I just need to get a bunch of stuff. It's raining from the trees, so I can replant them. All about that ethical and sustainable farming in Minecraft. Which is admittedly pretty easy. So for your redesign, Junie, do you have a Minecraft outfit? I think you should have a Minecraft outfit. I know you said don't give you any more ideas, but I'm giving you another idea. You have a Minecraft skin! That's awesome. I don't have a custom skin, but I do have this. You made it years ago. Oh. Did you make it before you started VTubing? Does the moth lore go that far back? The stool is so good. It is good. And I love if you take the shirt off, it looks like a pair of suspenders. Oh, you made it right when you started. Oh, okay. I don't like all this junk just lying around. What? It's totally nighttime. I don't know what you're saying, game. Junk? That's the finest forest debris! Oh, for all y'all who came in. This is the cistern underneath the opera house, by the way, that we built. Which I think looks pretty dang cool. Can you tell I'm a Phantom of the Opera fan? I also like actual opera, but... don't know what I was thinking about putting this here. Like starting it there. There's nothing stopping it from extending all the way. Like down there I need to tuck it in, but... Are you a fan of Final Fantasy VI opera scene? Oh man, it's been forever since I've seen that opera scene. Gosh. I mean, like in general theory, yeah, absolutely. But I'm trying to remember any specifics. And now all my brain can come up with is the opera scene in Fifth Element. You play the track every once in a while? Nice. I mean, that music slaps. Whoop. You don't remember the exact storyline? I remember the main beats, and it's like, I remember there being an opera scene, but like, I can't recall anything much beyond that. But that's okay, because we're actually going to be playing Final Fantasy VI at some point on the stream. Right now we're doing, for RPG Monday, we're doing Kingdom Hearts 2, then it's going to be Super Mario RPG, then it's going to be Birth by Sleep, and then I think it's going to be Final Fantasy VI. I think. How do people get to the outer box? They have there's going to be a hallway. That's why we're building the stairs over here. Is it's going to lead to a hallway that connects to the box, and there's going to be like an entrance this way. I also realized I need to. I placed this all over here, and then I forgot. Oh, we're going to need actual doors and things to get in here. So I need to open this space up. Yeah, ultimately the box, we are going to remove this one block that's connecting it right now. That's mostly just there for my own ease of use / safety. Okay, probably next on our agenda is getting a bit more diorite. Because we have about 40 pieces of diorite slabs. That's not enough, but just to fill this all in. So let's do that. Because I'd like to actually finish that kind of piece of the puzzle today. Because eventually I would like to build the actual walls. Although we are making pretty dang good progress, so... You'd like to get my input on Final Fantasy VI? It's good. It is extremely well written and tells the story well, especially given the limitations of its era of being on the Super Nintendo. Sprite work was amazing. Sound was amazing. Story is very interesting and has a fun twist that's itself a twist on a genre. But I don't want to spoil too much. Hello, Orange. Orange is our special cat. Let's go down this hallway. Look at that, we found it. And Hope. In Final Fantasy VI, you can fight them. Think about how the game's about resilience, since the characters all hit rock bottom, still they manage to pull through. Yes. Yeah, it does a great job of focusing on the individual narratives too. Like, it's not just the whole story. Fight 24/7. Well, okay, maybe not that much. I recommend you get sleep at some point. Just on Final Fantasy days. Well, as we say, don't mess with me. I have the power of God and anime on my side. Now I want to do a mock-up of a bishop's coat of arms and translate that into Latin and make it the motto. Not to actually do that, not to, you know, ever try that, but as like an April Fool's joke. I wonder what Latin for anime would even be. Probably just anime or something similar, but still. Okay, that should be enough for now. What do you think? Like 7 stacks? It's gonna be enough? It's gonna last? Okay, what time is it? Okay, it's nighttime. Time to sleep before we trek back. Yeah, I was thinking anima in Latin, meaning soul or breath. But I don't think that would quite work. I mean, you could go for like a literal translation, be like an animation of, you know, sort of thing. But I don't know if Latin even has a word for animation. Latin's a weird language, yo, because it's kind of dead, but also kind of not, but only used in like specific cases when it's not. And so it doesn't have a huge vocabulary. Habio potentium de et anime. Thank you, Prayherd. 10 out of 10, no notes. Like, I love the names of dioceses in Latin because it will basically just be like the name of the city with ensis, which is the Latin word for city, on the end of it. But then you get some really weird edge cases, like New York. Yeah, fun fact, ATMs of the Vatican do in fact have Latin. Oh, what was I gonna say? So like New York, I forget what it is, but because it shares the name of York, and there is an ancient Latin name for the city of York, it uses that. It's like Erebus or something, I think. I forget exactly what it is, but it's like, huh. Fine, I guess. So, like, the Diocese of Raleigh is like Raleiensis. Although one of my personal favorites is my home, the diocese I grew up in, because it literally translates to Diocese of the City of the Lake of Salt. As Latin has words for salt and lake, your diocese might be interesting. Yeah, it literally is just the Diocese of the City of the Lake of Salt. So can any word or name be Latinized? Names, generally, I think so. I'm no Latin scholar. Other words, it might be a little trickier. So I know, like, it wasn't Latin, but close, is in Italian. Pope Francis had a letter once where he discouraged priests from having sour faces, and the literal translation was faces of lemon. But I think names are easier because you tend to just add the proper gender ending, maybe, or you just find the translation. So like, Evan would be John. I forget exactly how it's like. Ioannis. It's similar to the Greek. It's Iohannes, I think. That's how you say it. Again, I'm not a Latin scholar. I spent more time in seminary studying ancient Ethiopian. Ioannes. Greek is Ioannes. Yeah, I wasn't sure how that was transliterated. Because I feel like I've seen it spelled with an H in Latin, but again, see previous statements. Hey, Squirrel. Good to see ya. Doing just fine. Yourself? You've heard it both ways. See, there you go. I think that's the last of the seating. You can't see up the family circle. Can the family circle see down? Kind of. Proof of concept, it's basically there. We're not putting on an actual performance here. Latin textbooks he had always told the stories of a family where one of the boys was named sexist and another was annoying other people. Oh my, no. Never do that one out loud, but you're not wrong. Not too bad. Don't know if you remember a conversation we had a couple months ago about sin-related question. Did some research, got some positive peer pressure, and while I didn't understand our conversation too well at the time, I think I'm ready to go to confession for it. Hey, that's great. That's awesome. Prayers and blessings to you for that. Right, Right, so this... Anything here I'm going to have to seal up with on the underside. Thankfully for Lent, they opened up some evening on Wednesdays. Hey, that's great. Why is that one on that side? Wasn't it 2 on this side? It was 2 on this side. That's not balanced. At the time that you were trying to talk to me about the sin of presumption, and I was not getting it. Hey, that's all good. I may not have been explaining it clearly. We all get there in the end, though, and that's the good news. Okay, that is all the seating done. Although I might put some, like, benches in the lobby area. But, so, I mean, we'll just hang on to those anyway, but, how do I feel about the idea of chorizo ice cream? I'd try it. I like chorizo. Let's go shear our sheep. We're gonna need more wool to finish this all off. Oh, nope, we're going to bed. I see stars, I go to bed. You show up way too early. Okay, I think that's everyone sheared for now. Jump. Well, I did get a name tag. Need an anvil. There's one in the blacksmith's shop in the marketplace. I hope it's Jeb underscore, because otherwise this won't work. Hey, Crimson Knight. Yeah, I remembered correctly. Jeb. It was a long day, but God is good. Amen to that. But hopefully the log portion of the day is done and you can take a bit of a breather now. How wide is so it's 5 wide. So how many more spaces do we have? 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So it could fit in exactly 4, which we might actually do on the front just because that would let in a lot of light. I've got a Taco Bell queso burrito kit. Wait, you have to assemble your own burrito in a kit? That seems like they're cheating now. Like, why would I go to a Taco Bell and then be told, cool, come back to the kitchen with us. Here are your gloves, get to work. I like how this water feature turned out. I think it frames this, it creates kind of like a shadow and frames the stairs nicely. It was only $2.99. It's cheaper than buying 4 of them. Okay. Is this like, did you buy this at the grocery store or at a Taco Bell? Because, like, I think that's the part I'm stuck on. Because if you bought it at a Taco Bell, I think I'd just be severely disappointed in Taco Bell. Not you, but Taco Bell. Like, making me work for my own food. Gonna need to make more white concrete. But fortunately, bone makes white dye, so that'll be easy. From a grocery store. Okay, that makes more sense then. It's like, it's branded, it's with their seasonings. I was imagining just like straight up at the drive-thru. Here's your tortillas, here's your meat, here's your cheese. And the image in my head just made me laugh. You get 4 burritos worth of material for $2.99? Yeah, what's included in this kit? Does it include the tortillas? Does it include the cheese? Or is it like... Better do the sawdust to mix in the meat. You have to provide the meat and the shredded cheese, but the tortilla and the rice is provided. Oh, okay. Well, I hope you have a wonderful burrito dinner. I like how the grand staircase has turned out. You made a Crunchwrap Supreme! Okay, that one sounds like it could actually be hard if you don't have a panini press, though. Jeb. Oh, you gotta have the Velveeta. I mean, how else are you gonna make your Philly cheesesteaks? You gotta have the pump cheese for a real Philly cheesesteak. And on that incredibly spicy take, we're gonna call it for the day. That, and also because it's basically time, and I can't think of anything that I could start at this point and get done in like 3 minutes. Wrong button. Thank you so much for tuning in to Let Us Play. I've been your host, Father Evan. It's been good to be with y'all today. It's been great to see the Opera House come together. Join us again tomorrow for more Urquan Masters. I don't need no real Philly cheesesteak. Use mushrooms in your house. Anyway, join us tomorrow for Urquan Masters. It will be slightly delayed, maybe 30 minutes, maybe an hour. We're celebrating a coworker's birthday here in the Busted Halo office, and our lunches can be legendary. Then join us again on Monday for more Kingdom Hearts 2. We're probably going to actually wrap it up, which is exciting. Next Tuesday, we're going to keep playing Sainthood and see how that progresses. It was a really interesting first look. And then continuing on the Opera House. And not this Saturday, not the 15th, not the Ides, beware the Ides. But on the 22nd, going to do a bonus stream of Magic the Gathering. Going to be playing Gladiator on Arena. It's 100 cards singleton, so you only get one of each card except for basic lands. And it's going to be kind of an open invite to anyone in the community who wants to face me. So we should have a good time. Hopefully do that for a good little while. That's the bonus stream, and Thanksgiving for reaching 400 followers. So thank you to all of you who followed. And thank you to everyone else who's liked, followed, subscribed, given bits, all that good jazz. Junie, thank you again for rating. Thank you for everyone who's checked out the YouTube and the Discord. And I think that's everything. So let's see who's live that we can raid into. Gonna send you on over to Hal, the Halcyon Ward. He's a cool dude. He's a VTuber bard. Raid call is Father Raid, as usual. Spam the meat morp if you got it. So Hal is playing Monster Hunter World. That's not the newest one. That's the last one. So go give him some love so he can hopefully, at least watch some ads, so that he can earn just a little bit more, getting closer to being able to afford the new one. But yeah, go give Hal some love. And again, thank you to everyone for being here. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Take care, and God bless.